Welcome back to my Factorio Let's Play. I am determined to get this to work. So I just went and got some pentapod eggs, and I refreshed myself on how these buffer chests work. So it's actually not necessary to do a limiter on these, because we're gonna just burn off all the excess eggs that we produce that we're not using. But because we're doing request from buffer chests on these, this marks these for priority. So as soon as we make eggs, they're going to go into here. They're going to be requested first by these 4 blue chests because they have this priority boost of request from buffer chests. Then the next on the priority list is going to be these ones. That brings in 4 eggs to create science packs. And then the next on the priority list is going to be this one requesting 100, which just burns them to make sure that we don't have too many or we don't have an attack, basically, so they don't hatch. So let's see and watch it work. All right, so it's pulling into here. We're keeping a very small amount. And I'm going to even do more of these turrets because I just am triggered from last time. I don't want to have to come back here for a while. Okay, so see, it's first pulling the egg production into here so that it can make more. Then it is pulling over to here once it makes more of these. After it's made sure there's enough in here. Then the excess are being pulled over to create science packs. And then if it gets to the point where there is so many that aren't even being pulled to be used on science packs, then it will take them over here and burn them. So that should be good. Yeah, we should see it kind of spike up here. So if we look, we're producing about 90 per minute. We're using like 80 per minute. So that's pretty good. I'm going to do another one of these. Modify this a little bit so that it is going onto a belt here. Like this. Now we have 2 machines making them. Lovely. Means we are producing like 58 per minute. But I want to even make this a little bit better. A little bit faster. So we're going to have 4 machines making them. And I think this keeps up. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I need productivity and less speed. These produce 61. Yeah. So speed modules, I use them too much. And now I'm realizing that the inputs can't always keep up. So like, I mean, I saw that in one of my most recent videos, right? Here, I put speed modules and everything. This is requiring, you know, however many. Why is this? Oh, we're just sweet. We just have a backup. Awesome. I'm also going to go ahead and unlimit all these. So we just make a ton of modules. Start with the productivity once all these chests are full. That way we don't have that issue again where, oh no, we don't have a backup of enough things. We're not making enough chips, whatever. That'll create like a backup that'll use all the chips so they're not just sitting there idle. But yeah, my point was basically we have these speed modules in here. This is, you know, making stuff fast, but it's also requiring stuff fast. And if we have, what, 12 of these requesting almost 2, that's like 24 per second. These things are only making 22 per second. So they're not going to reach all the way down. And not only that, but this belt is only able to transport so many on half the belt. It's half of this, right? I think. So like 45 per second. I don't know. But basically the speed limits the speed. Yes, it makes them faster, but it's limited by how fast you can bring stuff in. So that's what I'm not looking at when I do just speed modules into everything. So here we're doing these fast, 0.61 per second. We're using them at 0.52 per second. So there's going to be a little bit of an overflow, and that overflow will come right here and be burned away. So yeah, this should be good. We got 120 per minute. We can launch a rocket off of here every 5 minutes or so. And I'm going to request, I'm going to do this one off. We're going to say we want 1,000 Gleba science. Once there is 1,000, it's going to automatically launch. I want to see how to automate this. So circuit, when, let's see, where's the sciences? Am I dumb? Oh, when this science agricultural equals 1,000. Yep, that's not what we wanted. When this equals 1,000, then we're gonna launch to Nauvis, right? Any requests 0. I don't want it to be a circuit. Time pass request satisfied. So request of these. So once the request is satisfied, then it's going to go here. And how do I prioritize that? Request not satisfied. No. I'm going to have to watch a video on how to automate this because I don't know yet. I don't know how to say, oh, wait at Gleba until you have 1,000 green science and then ship it back. But you know what? I'll do that. I will do that before long. So we have tons of this Bioflux here. I'm going to request some of it as well. So this is going to be a dedicated rocket just for the science. I'm going to make a rocket for any other things I want to ship off the planet. So this one is going to automatic requests. That over here. Oh, one more thing before I leave, and we have a mass meltdown. So we're going to have a problem where none of these are requesting seeds, right? Because they're all full of seeds. They can't plant any more stuff. So these are not going to request any more seeds. Then these are going to keep producing seeds, and then our chests are going to get backed up with seeds. So to circumvent that issue, we are going to set these to request 100 Yamako seeds. Or we'll say 110 again. I think I need to do it over the amount. This one is going to request 110 as well. Then it's going to burn them if Yamako seeds are greater than 100. Oh, I don't need the filter actually. So I need this circuit. So this is only going to activate if Yamako seeds are greater than 100. So since there is 110 in there, it's going to burn 10 of them to keep this from backing up. And then same for this one, except for jelly nut seeds. Jelly nut seeds are greater than 100. It's going to burn them as well. It's going to request 110. That means there's just going to always be 100 sitting here that can be pulled by these requester chests, because these take priority, the blue chests. So it'll pull from these buffer chests and plant them to make more. So I think this all runs well and good. I believe we shouldn't have any sort of issue here. And also, one more thing. We're making rocket fuel, but making rocket fuel to launch rockets. However, I want to change this now because you see we're out of this solid fuel just about. So let's see. I'm gonna request all the solid fuel. So we're gonna pretend real quick that we ran out of solid fuel here. I want all of the solid fuel. Send it to my inventory now. Get rid of the seeds. I'm not gonna need these. Oops. This is requesting science. I also want to request biofuel. So let's send over, how much can fit in a rocket? 1,000. We'll send up 2 rockets of it because we have a lot of it. That's just kind of turning into spoilage. It probably will on the trip anyways, but that's fine. Is it going to launch automatically? It is, right? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to pretend we ran out of solid fuel, right? There's no more solid fuel to fuel this. We're going to have a mass power outage. So we're not going to use solid fuel anymore. We are going to use the rocket fuel we're automatically making. So request 20 of these. They also have a better fuel value, so it's just better anyways. Request 20 of these. Request from buffer chests. So that takes priority over these ones launching rockets. So we're going to request from these chests first to the power and then to the rocket. And we should never run out of power here again. But in the case that we do, for some reason, I'll leave these here that we can use as a fail-safe. Okay. So it looks like we're good. We have everything running as it should. This is going to be infinite and go on forever and just keep running and running. Power's good. So I think it's safe to leave here now and go redo the stuff that we did previously with the biters. Capturing a biter nest and all that. All right. Travel to space platform. That's going to disrupt the science. So I'll travel with this one. Okay. Now we're going to go and work with some captive biter spawners. And then we can also automate like a rocket ship. Once I figure out how to automate spaceships going back and forth in between planets. It shouldn't be that hard. It seems like it's kind of like trains, which I just haven't exactly learned yet because I've just barely ever used them. And that's going to change very soon after I get this researched and we can bring in calcite constantly. I'm going to improve Nauvis a bunch once I can use the foundries over there and import calcite directly from space. So let's go back to Nauvis. We have science. We have Bioflux. That was fun. That was a great time. I would not have been able to do it without watching that video. Like I said, I would have linked it in the other video. But yeah, invaluable. It sort of makes sense to me. I just had to learn these buffer chests and like priorities of the chests, basically. So this is going to go back to Gleba while we're on the way to Nauvis because we're going to keep getting this juicy green science that we need. And I swear by the next video, I will have researched how to automate that so we can dedicate an entire ship just to bringing in green science. But yeah, pretty soon we're going to have to come back to Volcanus because it just has not been running. Because we just have this dismal production of blue chips. I mean, it's running, but it's not able to ship out rockets like crazy. We need way more blue chips being produced. We're only making 10 per minute. So it takes 10 minutes to launch one rocket, basically. Not good, not good. Especially if we want to get green belts sent over to Nauvis and replaced. We need a lot more blue chips and red chips. But that shouldn't be too bad. I just have to kind of figure out this puzzle of using these things properly and all the ins and outs of that. But yeah, shouldn't be too bad. No, we want to go to Nauvis. Oops, I didn't add this stop in there, so it just kept going to the next planet. Okay, we are here. Drop the science, drop the bioflux, and drop myself. This is gonna let us make more biolabs. We can increase the science production. I think I could really double this without the amount of space I have, and that would get us researched way faster. This somehow got clogged up. I don't know how that got on the belt. Iron got on the copper belt, probably from some mining drill that was doing both. We can redo all that soon. We're gonna have to, like I said, we're gonna have to expand anyways because we have pollution reaching biters, so we're gonna keep getting attacked. But I can start to, once I get this research, I can start to plan out the expansion of this base into, I want to use like all this space right here. So yeah, we need to go and recapture that spider nest out there. So let's, where are we making these captures? Right here. Oh, this spoilage here somehow. Oh, the bioflux, yeah. Oops. We want to move this. Oh my gosh. And this is going to be filtered to only move this. And personal logistics on. I need 10 of these, which I have in my pocket. Okay. Let's go capture those things. Now we have advanced asteroid processing, which is amazing. We need that. That is wonderful. Let's see. What are some other things? Asteroid productivity. That would be a good thing to research. But I want to get all the basic stuff researched. Tree seeding would probably help. I'm not sure exactly what that does, but... Well, I mean, it plants trees, but I would have to kind of look at it for a little bit to figure out what the use of that would be. Let's get the efficiency module 3s and carbon fiber and this one researched. That just gets all the base researches out of the way before we start doing infinite ones. And then we can probably research a kilo before we start doing infinite ones as well. But yeah, this is it's been a learning curve for sure. I kind of have a grasp of Gleba now. It's infinite materials. You just have to manage the ins and outs of spoilage so that things don't expire. So we're here, send a capture rocket right there. We got more biofuel or more bioflux coming in to feed these, which means we will have more biter eggs. And we can start making these again. These productivity module 3s, because we are making lots more of 1s and 2s. And let's speed this up too. Yeah, and that'll be good. We will want lots of those. Perfect. We're making biter eggs. Let's go. This, we're also going to request more Bioflux. Automatic requests was turned off. Now it's back on. We're getting the other things. We're going to need carbon fiber, so I'm going to have to actually set that up as well on Gleba. But I think I should be able to do all that remotely, hopefully. Now that we have it kind of just going. I needed a break from Gleba. I got it working. That's what matters. I needed a break. Alright. Let's slap some lights down. My ugly, ugly red ship. New red ship maker. Once we get more space, we're going to redo this. Once we start expanding out here. We have all this open room. We'll be able to do that very soon. And I'm going to have to figure out a tileable thing I can plop down for robo coverage. And how I want to do that. I'm not sure yet. But I will figure it out. No green chips. Why is there no green chips? Because there's no copper, because we have iron on the belt. So that iron messed up everything. So we have to cleanse all these belts. I need to figure out where that came from. Oh, that's so frustrating. We're going to do it again, where we're going to overdraw from what is able to be produced. But now that we have the calcite that we can make in space, we will very quickly move to using this type of setup right here for everything. And we're going to be using more space and trains and whatnot once we expand the base over here. That's going to be a whole learning curve in itself. But I think I can do it. I can do it. All right, so the last thing before all the infinite research, well, definitely not the last thing. One of the really important ones that I want is this. Which one costs more? Let's do a little shuffle, go back to Gleba, request all that stuff again. We're going to do rocket turrets first. The research for rocket turrets and a kilo are 4,000 combined. The research for epic quality is 5,000. We're not even hardly doing stuff with quality besides rolling the dice, so we're not like upcycling and stuff yet. We're going to expand onto this if we have the means to, which we should. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have lots of labs. Okay. So how much is one of these? We have like 9 in our pocket. We can do a whole nother branch of those. This will just get stuff faster. Researched faster, I guess. We're going to copy this again. Flip it, though, and... Why is this like this? thing is those roboports don't fit there. We're just going to move the roboports altogether. We'll move them down here. That's good. I don't need to do any more labs right now. We'll keep this limited to 2 stacks because these go to stack size 5. We'll limit it to that many just because. And then the rest of the biter eggs will be kept right here and then pulled from there and used right here in this production of Prod Module Mark IIIs. Why is this not placing? Oh, because it's not a normal one. We don't have any more of these rare ones or uncommon ones. I don't want to do this again because I like symmetry. All right, there we go. Just like that, we have way faster research speed. So let's see how it looks once we drop our science down to us. And I'm just going to keep going with this back and forth. Takes a little bit of time. Like I said, it's like, what, 5 minutes? But that's like just enough time for a ship to get there and come back. And we're keeping up. I think we're not using too much of the bioflux. We just got to make sure that this gets... we got to make sure. I think I want to do requests from buffer chests for these because I want this to take priority over requesting it into space. I want this to make sure that we never run out of nutrients, right? So I think it's important that I check this request from buffer chests just to prioritize the production of it. And then we also can set up like the production of this stuff again later. Once we have like tons of seeds that we see, the seeds are building up in here. That'll make us allow us to make even more keeping these belts full by increasing the stuff we can plant on. But that can all be done at a later time. We just launched a rocket up, so there it is. Okay, we're gonna send this back to Nauvis now, and we got this one coming back to Gleba. We're just juggling ships because I'm still doing it manually. I swear I'm gonna look at how to automate it after I record this video. I will figure out how to automate those guys. Tool belt equipment. That gives us a bigger inventory. I don't think that's that necessary, but I might do it just to get it out of the way. Let's see what other things are locked behind Gleba Science. Stack inserters. Those things are pretty great if I remember right. But we're not even making carbon fiber yet, so I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to go for this next. Unlock a kilo. And then we are also going to work on this one next. So that's a lot of research. That's like 8,000 we need. But it's okay because we have a steady production of green science. Oh, all right. Well, that was fun. I'm going to have to figure out how to automate these rockets. I'll do that before I start the next video just so that I don't have to even think about it and I can just queue stuff up and do other things. But yeah, I'll probably change this from being calcite transportation and just turn this one into a dedicated Gleba Science transport. and just have it going back and forth, picking up Bioflux and Science. I'm going to lower the Bioflux to like 1,000 instead of 2,000. I'm going to turn this into just a dedicated Gleba transport, and I'm going to just research how to automate it. I know there's something, it's something like trains where we got to learn trains anyways at some point, because we're going to start building the bigger part of the base out here and expanding into this territory. So we got to learn trains and circuit conditions, logistic conditions, and all that sooner or later. But yeah, anyways, it's been fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.